I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up.
There are different pathways to move from Nigeria to Canada, or from England to Canada. This was what I did. Disclaimer, this is not the best. This is not the only option. This is what I did. This is what I did. So it worked for me. It might work for you and it might not, but this is what I did. And I'm making this video because it was highly requested by two people, two wonderful people on my channel. So that's why I'm making this video. So this time last year, I was already planning to move to Canada from England. I had done most of, I think now by now, I've gotten my visa already. I had gotten my visa to move, but because my school was starting in January, I decided to wait till December to move to Canada. So yeah, how did I move from England to Canada? I came in through a study permit visa, through study visa, and I'm still a full-time student, international student, and this is one of the pathways that you can use to move to Canada. People coming through permanent residency and work permit, but this, my own way, was coming in through student visa. So when we were in England, my husband and I thought about it and we decided that we wanted to move to Canada. Canada was really one of our first choices, and we wanted it to be where we would become permanent residents. And yeah, so we made a plan, but we didn't really know much about how to do it. So this is where I think it's very important that you always ask questions from people who are more knowledgeable about this topic than you are. I am not an agent. Another disclaimer, I don't know much about the entire process. I'm going to give you details about the things that I did for my own end that helped the application process. Yeah. So the first thing we did was to get an agent. Get an agent that is knowledgeable about it. He knows what he or she is doing, gives you steps on how to go about the application, because it can be very daunting trying it out on your own when you've not tried it before. I've heard of people who did it by themselves. I was not one of those people. Even when we were coming to England, we didn't do it by ourselves. We hired somebody to do it for us. So the agent, we spoke to him and he helped with the application. All we had to do was pay, submit our documents, and just hope and pray for good news. So we hired him. He created my application separately from my husband's. We didn't do like a joint application, because I was coming in as a student and he wasn't coming in as a student. He was still studying in England as an international student, so I was to come in on my own. So it was an individual application, and he after paying for his fees, he asked for our documents such as my WAEC certificates, because I was coming in as a student, obviously, my passports, my IDs, and of course proof of funds. So those are the things that I asked for, and we sent them to him. And the thing about having an agent that knows what she's doing is that you can just sit back and relax and ask questions, of course, but once they get the necessary information from you, you don't really need to do much, So after providing all my application, there was a time of silence, like just hoping that things will work through. And so later on, I think that was in I can't remember the month, I had to go and do my biometrics. So I was not applying from Nigeria because I was in England. That gave me an edge, to be honest, because if you're Nigerian, you know how difficult it is to apply for a visa to anywhere from your home country. But because I was applying from the UK, it made it a little bit easier for me. So I I took a train to London and I went to do my biometrics. The biometrics did not even take a lot of time. The queue was nothing compared to the one you would see when it's in Nigeria. It was a little bit simpler, to be honest. I went in, I was called in because I was given a date, obviously. I went in, I was called in. In fact, I was the one that picked the date I wanted. I just called and I told them I wanted to come at these dates and not these dates because I was working. It was very easy. So I got to London. I went to the office called VAS office in London, and this is where they take application process, not just for people going to Canada. There were also countries like European countries, because I met people there who were also applying to go to other European countries. Anyway, got there and I waited my turn. I got into an office with an official. I submitted the document that my agent had provided for me to submit. It contained like a list, like my details and the reason why I wanted to do the biometrics, because I think if you're applying to Canada, just like in UK, you have to do a biometric. So I went in. I provided my thumbprint. He didn't ask any questions. He just asked me to do my thumbprint, and he gave me back my passport. That was the difference, because when I was applying to go to England, they hold your passport back. They hold your passport back and tell you that you will receive it with a response, whether you've been given the visa or not. They return the passport back to you. But he gave me back the passport, and it was like there was a sticker at the back of the passport, and it was like, that's it. And then I went home. Took months before I had anything back. We're hoping and praying, of course, talking to the agent, and then he was like, just calm down and wait till you get a response. Once you get a response, I will let you know. So I waited, and then I think it was in July, August that I got back a response that I've been offered a study visa. But it's like this. It's not like it's because you've been given your passport, right? You have, after getting this confirmation, you have to send back your passports to London. So I paid for DHL. DHL was able to transport my passport and those documents as well back to London for me. Of course, you have to pay for these things. So the thing is, if you want to do this, before you even get to this stage, you'll be more knowledgeable about it if you have somebody guiding you, like an agent or somebody who has done it before. This is why I am recommending that you shouldn't do it on your own. I didn't do it on my own. This is why I don't have enough information about it. So just find an agent you can pay who will help you with the process. I paid for DHL. DHL took my passport and my documents to London. I was able to track it, and I think a week or so later it returned with my visa sticker in the passport. So that was it, and I think that was even before October. I was set to leave, but my program wasn't starting till January. So I waited till January. I paid for my ticket, and the thing is, the slip you get that has confirmed that this is your study, that have been given a study permit, will tell you that this is not the final confirmation until you get to the airport and you talk to an immigration officer before you can say that you finally moved to, you are finally a student in Canada. Because once you get there, they'll give you like a slip. This is the study permit slip that you will use for anything you want to do when you get to Canada, be it school, be it job application, be it SIM registration, SIM card registration, be it bank registration, bank account opening, anything you want to do, you will need that slip. So it's kind of like a 50-50, because you hear sometimes that they don't give people that permit, and I saw it with my own eyes when I got when I got to Canada, December 26th, I was on the line waiting with a lot of, it was a very long line that day. It was a very stressful flight for me. And I was waiting and I was seeing people talking to these officials, and some of them were turned back. I don't know, I can't tell you for a fact what happened, but there were people that weren't given a pass to come in to get into Canada. Sometimes you are even sent back. Sometimes the official will say you've not fully convinced them that you are able to stay. So it's not a final confirmation. That is why I understand why people don't tell their family members that they are moving to Canada, because you don't know until you know, right? And then I got there, spoke to the sort of like a mini interview, like a chat. I spoke to the official. He asked me my name, checked my passport, checked my the paper, the slip I brought in. He asked me the name of my school, asked me to show him my bank account and all that. And he was like, And then he was like, why are you coming to study in Canada? I was like, I'm interested in furthering my education. I was speaking English and all that. I was like, but then I think he was wondering why we international students pay a lot of money to come and study in Canada, because he was just staring at me like, this is a lot of money because he checked the tuition fee. This is a lot of money. And I was like, that is how much international students pay. I was like, wow, that's a lot. He said he didn't pay that much. He said he didn't pay that much when he was studying. And this is one of the perks of being the domestic student. You don't pay half of what international students pay. Because of course, this is your country. You're not an international student. So anyway, he gave me my slip, and you have to make sure that in the slip it's written there that you can walk alongside studying. It's always there at the bottom page to confirm, because if it's not written there, you can't walk. So yeah, I got the slip. I was exhausted. That airport's crazy was because the flight was like 8 hours, 7 hours. It was snowing. The flight was delayed for hours before we even left England, before we left London. I was very tired. So immediately he stamped it and gave me my slip. I was so happy. And then I went to get my luggage. I'll link the vlog, my Canadian UK to Canada vlog, on somewhere here for you to see if you haven't seen the vlog. But I was just so happy that after all these months of preparation, I was finally here. So just for a refresh, apply for a visa with an agent who will help you apply for schools, pick out schools. I just sometimes give you advice on the kinds of schools to apply to. You can also do the research yourself. Get informed about the types of schools to pick, because there are also some schools that are not worth it, because not all the schools in Canada gives you postgraduate work permit, and you need that in order to be able to work after you're done with schooling. If you don't have that permit, you cannot work. You have to go back home. So be careful of the schools you pick. My agent was able to help me with that. He chose the schools that would provide me with a PGWP. And once you've gotten admission to a school, you've paid the application fee and all that, you've gotten the admission, you can then apply for your visa. You can do it on their website, or you can get an agent to do it for you. All you just have to do is pay the person or pay the agency. Then once that is done, if you've not done your biometrics before, maybe this is the first time you're traveling to Canada, you'll be invited to do your biometrics. I did mine in London. You are going to do yours in Lagos, obviously. So once you do that, you wait, hope and pray that you'll be given your visa. Once your visa arrives, you will be able to travel. Then you buy your plane ticket, you start getting ready to travel, and then you get to the airport and you get to the border and you pray that the immigration officer smiles upon you, and stamps your visa. And that's it. Simple. It's not simple, I'm kidding, but those are the steps. And I'm really glad that I've been able to help with this video. If you like this, please like and share, and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye.